Buckle up, folks. We're starting out on a roadside in Arkansas, where an officer quickly spots a suspended license long before the driver realizes what's about to unfold. From the very first exchange, the driver's tone is brimming with confidence, maybe a little too much. The officer keeps it polite and professional, but the driver immediately begins dodging simple questions. And then comes the slip-up. He flat out admits he doesn't have a valid license, practically handing the officer probable cause on a silver platter. It's one of those classic moments where the suspect isn't just in trouble, he's helping build the case against himself, one line at a time.
Hey, shut the door. Come back here. Come back here. What's going on? Hey, pulled you over. Take your hands out of your pockets. Okay. Pulled you over today. Okay. Because you have a suspended driver's license. I ran your tags. Okay. And I found that the registered owner was. Yeah, take your hands out of your pockets, please. Okay. I ran your tags. Okay. I understand it. But don't put your hand on. Okay. Come over here. Come over here. Come over here. Just settle down. Yeah, we're allowed to. Wow. You want me to explain? I know that you cannot do that. You want me to explain to you why you cannot do that, sir? Why do you need my keys? Because you're detained for traffic. You're not allowed to leave. You're under arrest for driving on a suspended driver's license. That's not a criminal offense. It's a traffic offense. It's a traffic offense, not a criminal offense. I don't know if that's no, guys, that's not a misdemeanor. Okay. Just lean against this. We also have to okay. Well, please. I'm not trying to. Okay, you're about to find your way. That's okay. Just settle down. Okay. Just settle down. Okay. I'm being detained. Yes. You're under arrest. What's your RAS? What is RAS? Reasonable suspicion. I think it was driving on suspended license, Charles. That's illegal. You can't do it. Well, right now you're under arrest for driving on suspended driver's license, and I'm not going to have this silly argument anymore. Okay. Okay. I'm just trying to figure out what this all is about. Well, I've told you 15 times. Okay, can I call my wife? No, you cannot. Put this right on my seat, okay? Is there anything in your car that can get you in trouble? Any weapons? No, I'm towing your vehicle per departmental policy. No, you can't. Go back over there, please. He's got to drive my car. He said he's going to drive my car back. He cannot. Why not? Because per department policy, I have to tow your vehicle. Why? I mean, y'all just towing my car. Enter 605. Start me another unit over here, please. Yeah, I'll get you a supervisor. Can I get a supervisor? I don't want to talk to a supervisor.
The officer is keeping it simple. Explain the violation, sort it out, and get everyone on their way. But the driver? He just can't help himself. Suddenly, he's a self-appointed legal scholar. Instead of cooperating, he launches into rambling statements about rights and loopholes. What should have been a routine stop quickly turns into a strange game of verbal chess. Except the officer is the only one actually playing by the rules. The officer's patience is steady for now, but the driver's stubborn defiance is already laying the groundwork for a far bigger headache.
6416, Colonel Glenn, Glenn Laundromat, your presence is being requested, sir. That doesn't make you speak up. Just jump behind my car. Yeah, jump behind my car. So you have no reasonable expectation of privacy. No reason. Y'all had no problem with speak. I want this, you know where they're taking this. They're taking this. I'm going to put your court to us. We've explained it to you about 15 times. Continue. So right now, per departmental policy, I'm going to tow your car. He's not a felon. I don't know why he's tripping about that. He's a felon? Do y'all know him by chance? Okay. So I ran his license plate, which you have no reasonable expectation of privacy of your license plate. We don't have to have a reason to run your license plate. We found that the registered owner of this vehicle has a suspended driver's license. We saw him in the car, pulled him over, and he jumped out immediately and started arguing with us, talking about how he studied law, which, cool, I hope he did, that's great. But it's an unclassified misdemeanor in the state of Arkansas to drive off a suspended driver's license. That's why he was put in handcuffs. He was tensing up. So, to avoid a fight, we went ahead and put him in handcuffs because that's where that was going.
So he was being arrested?
Yes, for driving on suspended driver's license.
You were arrested for a misdemeanor?
And then, so per my departmental policy.
Freedom is rights, though, we were arrested.
Schindler.
You guys.
got a gun from a conviction.
Now, the tension really starts to climb. The driver keeps chanting the idea that a suspended license isn't a crime, as if sheer repetition will somehow rewrite the law. The officer calmly breaks down Arkansas statutes, but it's like trying to explain fire safety to someone gleefully waving a lit match inside a hay barn. The driver isn't hearing a word. He's too busy rehearsing arguments for an imaginary courtroom in his head. All the while, the serious reality of his situation just isn't breaking through.
Just tell him he's under arrest for having a... Hey, Mr. Terry.
Yeah.
Don't kick your feet out. I'm not. Hey, my supervisor's on the way.
Yeah, but y'all pulled me up for no reason.
Pulled you over because you're driving on suspended license.
Pulled me up, and that's no reason. You can't do that, man.
Okay, well, right now you're under arrest for possession of firearm by certain persons because you're a convicted felon. There's a gun underneath your seat, and you're the only person in the car.
Okay, well, I'm not worried about that because that gun's registered to my wife, so I'm not worried about it.
Guns aren't registered in the state of Arkansas.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not. You're incorrect.
That's her gun.
Hey, so let's just put this back and forth, and let's just take it in court.
I'm not worried about it, man.
Okay, cool. You seem pretty worried about it. We got in custody, so we stopped. We're in his tags, found the registered owner, and his suspended driver's license. Conduct a stop on that PC. As we're pulling into the PC, and he immediately jumps out, walks forward, put his hands in his pockets. I told him, I can't take your hands out of your pockets. He does it again. Brandon grabs his arm, and we're going back and forth about how he's not under arrest and studied law for 10. He's being super ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Acting like he has something in the car. Going back and forth how he studied law for 10 years. Tell me that driving on suspended is not a misdemeanor. It is. He keeps it open. Go ahead and cuff him. Tell him he's under arrest for driving on suspended driver's license. I then per department policy, tell him that per department policy and Supreme Court case law, I'm going to conduct a inventory search of the car. I didn't say Supreme Court case law to him, but both you and I know it. Told him to conduct an inventory search, look inside, look underneath the seat where valuable things such as firearms are usually kept. So do an inventory search and there's a gun, and he is a convicted felon. So he is under arrest for possession of firearms for the purpose. So he is in the backseat of the car. He has not been thoroughly searched yet, so let's go ahead and do that. Hey, Brandon, let's go ahead and get a real search on this guy.
Are you the sergeant? Yes. Okay. What's your name, sir? I'm Charles Hunt. Charles Hunt? H-U-N-T Hunt? Okay. Your officers, I know you see farther than them because we're going to the Supreme Court. I hope you know that. I told them I'm studying law for 10 years. Okay? There's no way these guys could have known that was me in the car. They had no RS. Okay? Reasonable articulate suspicion. They had none because they didn't know who was in the car. My wife could have been in the car for all they knew. So that's why I'm taking y'all to the Supreme Court. And I'm going to get $1 million for every day I sit in jail.
Okay, well, you just gained another charge. Attempt to influence. You just gained another charge. Attempt to influence law enforcement.
No, I'm not.
Congratulations. Kansas versus Glover. It's the United States Supreme Court case that clarifies that a vehicle turn. Say it again, sir.
No, it
has not. No, it has not.
No, it is not.
Okay. So what?
Well, we're not going to the U.S. Supreme Court because they're not going to rehear the case they just judged on in 2020.
So, Mr. Glover,
I'll get a free flight out of it. I'll see you there.
Mr. Glover, are you aware which Supreme Court case says I'm allowed to conduct an inventory search of your vehicle? Because I'm pretty sure you just said overturn just to disagree with me. Because that's quite obviously not true.
By the time the officers bring up towing his car, he's still tangled in a fantasy debate over wordplay and definitions. At this point, it's not just a weak defense, it's pure self-sabotage. The officers know exactly where the law stands, and it's firmly on their side. The tone shifts fast. The question isn't if he's heading to jail anymore, it's when. You can feel the turning point right here.
Alright, so what is the paramount pillar of Fourth Amendment involving law enforcement? What Supreme Court case?
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay. Well, I discussed that. That's fine. I was just trying to help you understand, that's all.
No, you can't help me understand.
Come over here, please. Y'all still on the codes. What code? Y'all are. What code? No, that is a legitimate question. What code? Like criminal code? Is that what you're talking about? That's law. Well, yeah. Everything I've done today has been well within the color of law. It's not the color of law, not law. You know. That doesn't make any sense. It's not color of law. You know, it's not law. We're to study law. Don't worry about all that, man. Okay. All that doesn't matter.
All right, here's where the facts come out. The officer lays everything out clearly. A plate check, a suspended license, nothing complicated or mysterious. But instead of listening, the driver dives headfirst into half-digested Supreme Court citations. He's tossing around legal buzzwords like darts in the dark, hoping one might somehow land. The issue? These officers have heard every version of this routine before, and they're not falling for it.
Sure, but it's required by law to have that driver's license, and yours has been suspended. Correct. Which is a misdemeanor offense in the state of Arkansas, which is why you were taken into custody. And so what I was trying to explain to you, we could have avoided all of that arguing back and forth if you would just, Yes. And then, for my departmental policy, if somebody is driving on a suspended driver's license, I have to tow their vehicle. I'm not allowed to let somebody come get it. I have to tow it. And per the United States Supreme Court case law of South Dakota versus Opperman, I can conduct an inventory search of your vehicle prior to towing it. While conducting an inventory search of your vehicle, discovered a firearm underneath your driver's seat. When we ran you an ACIC, when we checked to see if your license was valid, we saw that you were a convicted felon. And you're in possession of a firearm, which is a felony offense in the state of Arkansas. So just so you're aware of everything you're being charged with, possession of a firearm by certain persons. No, you do though. I'm a police officer.
I'm trying to figure out, like, you trying to tell me, you trying to speak legalese to me. I'm like, dude, that's not even registered because there's certain things you don't.
His so-called case law is nothing more than a patchwork of misquotes and misunderstandings. He's not crafting a defense. He's constructing a barrier between himself and reality. The officers, steady and composed, take apart each claim with simple, straightforward explanations, exposing just how far his arguments stray from actual law. You can almost hear the edge of frustration creeping into his voice as it dawns on him. The officers aren't getting trapped in his web of nonsense.
Possession of firearm by certain persons, attempt to influence a law enforcement officer, driving on suspended license, and driving a vehicle with improper window tint, because the front right passenger window on your vehicle tested to have 4% light level transmission. In the state of Arkansas, the windows to the left and right of the driver are required to have 25% or greater light transmission level. Also, upon checking you in ACIC, we discovered you had a failure to pay warrant at a Little Rock traffic court. So you're being charged with one count of failure to pay. And then you had 2 additional warrants at a Little Rock environmental court for failure to appear. Those warrants are LR-21-422 and LR-20-4168. So you're being charged with 2 counts of failure to appear out of Little Rock environmental court. Say it again, sir. Yep. Expected to. It's my job. Well, tell me how I'm wrong since you're so smart. Tell me how I'm wrong. Yes, please. What did I do wrong? So I can, you studied law for 10 years, so I can do it right the next time. Okay. Can you tell me about Terry versus Ohio? What about Pennsylvania versus Mims?
Versus Murdoch?
Mims. Yeah, what about Illinois versus Wardlow? What about Maryland versus Wilson? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm asking, you studied law for 10 years.
You'll get there one day. No, I'm saying.
So you studied law for 10 years.
No, I'm saying. I thought you said Murdoch versus.
I didn't. I said Pennsylvania versus Mims.
Okay, I thought you did.
What about Terry versus Ohio? You know that one?
Terry versus Ohio?
Yes, sir.
What does it say?
Well, I'm asking you. You studied law for 10 years. You would know that. I'm asking you.
You're the one telling us we don't know anything. So we're trying to see if you got anything.
Okay. So where'd you study law? You haven't been paying your. This is you said we're up.
Well, that's one thing we do disagree with is taxes.
I have a business card.
A business card, no, sir. No, not a business.
City does not give us lunch.
You got the codes on all.
Yes, sir.
Every single day.
I expect it to. It's my job.
And I told you, but I know there's a second one that we saw that is on here, but it's their car, so I don't know.
Say it again, sir.
Everything's on the Hamilton Maritime. Just remember that.
Maritime? We're like boats?
He's a sovereign citizen. He just doesn't know what's on. One or the other. Okay. You're more nation then?
So the reason he's saying that is because everything you were saying is consistent with what sovereign citizens say. That's all. Say it again.
That don't really make sense, man.
Nothing you have said in the past hour has meaning.
I'm trying to figure out why all of a sudden I'm trying to spit legalese at me.
I'm not spitting legalese, I'm spitting facts.
I'm scrapping. One commit hundreds of thousands of dollars a year.
In all seriousness, you should. If you do have a lawyer, you
You're a
should.
little smart. Why
You
not?
really should. Go be a lawyer.
Be a lawyer.
Yeah.
You think I should be a lawyer?
Yeah. If you have a law degree, why not?
So why wouldn't you make the money off of it?
In all seriousness, like, all jokes aside, if you really do have a law degree, go be a lawyer. It's great money. It really is. I don't have the, I'm not cut out for law school. I probably wouldn't pass. I'm not that great at school. And I like being a police officer. I don't want to be a lawyer. Pretty good police officer, though. Yeah, I love being a police officer. It's what I've wanted to do since I was a child. You wouldn't have lawyers if you didn't have police officers. There's nothing to argue. But say I like being a police officer.
We don't really need police officers. We got sheriffs.
Oh.
You are a sovereign citizen. You
just confirmed it. You just confirmed it.
We don't really need them.
You need to write that down because you need to figure out.
So what does a sheriff's deputy do that's different than what I do? They enforce criminal law. They.
Why would you just hire more sheriffs?
What's the difference?
Just why would you? I mean,
A sheriff is
hire
elected.
more sheriffs.
Okay. A mayor is elected. A mayor appoints a chief of police. Chief of police hires police officers. What is the difference between a sheriff? A sheriff is elected and appoints sheriff's deputies.
Okay.
Hey, Buggy, you got any gold French flag?
At this stage, the back and forth is circling the drain. But then the stakes explode. During the inventory search, officers uncover a firearm, and here's the bombshell. He's a convicted felon. In a split second, this goes from a traffic violation to a full-blown felony. Most people would shut down immediately. Not this guy.
What's the difference? What can a sheriff's deputy do that I can't do?
This is what I'm trying to get you to understand.
Yes, please do. Please help me.
When does cops mean?
It's a short term for copper, and the term is derived from when police officers used to wear copper badges.
Absolutely.
So what does COP stand for? Tell me.
Constable on patrol.
Okay,
It's a version that some people.
that's a version that some people say.
You can look in the Black's Law Dictionary. It'll tell you the same thing.
The what?
Black's Law Dictionary.
What is
The
that?
Law Dictionary. You ever read the Law Dictionary?
Okay.
Oh.
I've read.
Charles, I need you to come to the realization that you are, in fact, a sovereign citizen. You just go ahead and embrace it. Because everything you've cited
And
is
if this
going down the list of I'm a sovereign citizen.
Charles, if any of this
This thing is, I didn't have to break the window to drag you out of the car.
and Charles, if any of this conversation is offending you, we can stop it. I'm actually quite enjoying it. So if it's bothering you, we'll stop.
Like, that's the only thing missing from sovereign citizen thinking.
That don't bother me.
Don't call it
Something driven on the street by a motor, powered by a typically combustion engine. It gets you from point A to point B.
What's the auto trust account?
I don't even know what that is, Charles.
Charles?
Were you driving or traveling?
It's over.
Travel.
It's over with, man.
It's feeling like we're getting to the travel part.
Everything I do is framed in the Constitution of the United
Everything
States.
you did today, right?
Which part of it was?
It's going to be over.
Okay, how's that unconstitutional?
You had no reason. You had no RAS. You had
Yeah,
no
this-
reason articulate suspicion
Yeah.
to pull my car.
I had reasonable suspicion to believe you were driving on a suspended driver's license.
And yeah, if I go to the Supreme Court, they'll say the same.
Actually, they're going to say, look at all these different Supreme Court cases that prove you're wrong.
The one they everything's justified on for the last few years.
Yeah, because people not going up there. Yeah, because you have to go up there and tell them that they can overturn it. It can be overturned.
You're going to go up
It can't be overturned.
The Supreme Court
They
is
can't be there
gonna
too.
They can't be.
Okay, right.
and tell them to overturn it because you, Charles Hunt.
Oh God, man, why is he doing this?
So what I
I
think,
get 6 months of police training and no law. Why are we talking about law?
you know what I think you're mad about? I think you're mad you got caught with a gun
Yeah, you probably shouldn't have
that you're not allowed to have.
You're a felon.
Yeah.
I'm mad.
I think you-
My,
I think you-
my civil rights were trampled over.
Which one?
Instead of staying quiet, he launches into wild promises of million-dollar payouts for every day he spends in jail, vowing to march his case all the way to the Supreme Court. The officers, unfazed, remind him of the obvious. No amount of fantasy lawyering will erase a felony gun charge. At this point, it's gone beyond overconfidence. It's full-blown delusion.